Hey, people.
That intro was like 20 minutes long.
You know what? You know
It
what's so funny?
is.
Ty? It'd be like 1,000 minutes long, but when I be in here and I be like trying to get some last minute stuff done,
And
I
then
be
it feels
like,
like 40 seconds.
right. Hey, Tabitha. Tabitha,
Hey,
you done
Tabs.
changed your name on here again. I do want to. I'm glad you're in here, Tabitha. I'm gonna make this announcement. So, Tabitha, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tabitha. Let me drop the link in the chat. Um, so, if you want to come up and explain now, Tabitha, if I'm not mistaken, now Tabitha, correct me. Tabitha says she's going to take a break from the tube of you because the tube of you be acting crazy with her, and the tube of you don't want to let her be great. So she said she's going to concentrate on the gram and the tick of the talk. TikTok, this is how we rock. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. So that came out of left field. Okay.
It did. But child, she said YouTube has forced a change in her channel once again. Child, YouTube would do it. Listen, I know about the hate from YouTube. Like YouTube do not see it for me at all, and I'm okay with that. I think we need a black, but I find that with a lot of the black YouTubers. Maybe we need a black strike on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like a black week off. Show them what we working with. You know, orchestrate and arrange that. Anyway, but yeah. So Tabitha is going to be taking a break from the tube of you or reorganizing her channel and stuff. Because I know a lot of my subscribers also subscribe to her. So if you don't see her, that's why. Um, but you can catch her on BET, not BET. Lord, I'm looking at a story about BET. Hopefully you can catch her on BET.
Hopefully.
I'm gonna say word,
Dude,
Tabitha.
You better
yeah,
Word.
speak.
come
You
on
better
now,
speak it as
come
if it
on,
was.
speak it into existence. Yes, come on for BET. Just invite me as a guest. Now, if you gonna be on BET, just call me, have me on that. I'm gonna invite me just every now and again. Anyway, listen, I love my small channel. I really do. I really love
The little engine that could.
so yes. Hey Quintessential.
That's essential. Good morning. I don't know why I'm up this early.
Because you never went to bed. That's right.
Right. Girl.
That would be why, beloved.
That might explain.
That might be one reason.
Lord. You say you'll be back with Love and Marriage Hunt. Listen, Love and Marriage Huntsville went on for like 6 to 8 months. Like that season was child. I'll get back to I
Tabitha,
say
do you like that show, or you just be viewing it for the ratings? Because that show, it makes my back itch. I just
I'll be back to reviewing when P Valley comes back. How about that?
amen. I'm not mad.
When
Which
is
is what,
that?
June? I might find something to review
May, I
before
think.
that.
May. There's some
Oh,
shows
okay.
coming back like mid-March and mid at the end of
Okay, I'm
March.
okay with that. I'm okay with that. We can do that. Um, so I'll be back to review it. Don't worry. Um, yeah. So all of that, all of the things. Um, all of the things. So Ty, how has everything been going on with you and your competitions and stuff? Oh, thank you so much, Quintessential, for adding to the snack fun. I appreciate that, my love.
Not the snack fun.
Don't do me.
Come
Listen, we
on,
gotta keep the
snack
professor in
fun.
his snacks.
Yes,
That's
that
how it
keeps me
works.
going. Yeah, that's how these things work. Speaking of snacks, I just bought a bag of
I'm
chips.
gonna you could feel free to contribute to my weed fund.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well, feel free to
I'm running
contribute
low.
to my makeup. Is that what we doing? Come,
that's
listen,
Oh,
right.
that what we doing today? Yeah, that
no,
was.
everything is cool with me. I am, still in that drag competition world. Last Monday, I won.
Do you want to tell Abby about the epic fall?
Ugh, I just threw those shoes away.
I'll tell you,
That
I
was
feel like you didn't have to do that. I felt like that was.
that was a that was a little while ago, over a month
That
ago.
was about 3 weeks ago, Ty.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was in
It was
February.
before. No, because it was. I think the last week of January.
No, that was in February, Ty. I promise you it was
No,
February.
it
I
was the
watched.
last week of January because the next thing I did after that, I had no shoes on, and it was my Black History number, Black History Month number that I won with. So that was after the
But how
shoe.
you gonna tell Ty when he failed? Like how you gonna?
I be watching it. I have to keep track of these things for Ty. Hey, Jeff.
So. Yeah, I went to go step off the stage, and both of my heels just broke at the same time.
Oh no!
And instead of having an epic, just take the boards off and throw them out. Ty kept performing in the broken heel. There was some big heels too. They was like boots.
Yeah, they was like some platform
Boots.
boots, and they was
Oh,
they
so
was
they weren't something that you could. They weren't a pump. You could just slide off your feet and keep
Right.
going.
No,
no,
I would have
no,
had an epic
no.
sit on
Okay,
the ground and gracefully unzip the horse and
Yeah, it had
place
a
the
zip on
horse
the
a
off.
side, and
mess, a
it
mess,
had
a
a zip
mess.
on the side and shoestrings on the front. But and I put the video up is on IG. But part of me was saying if you stop and pay attention to them, the judges is going to deduct for that. And then part of me was saying just take them off, but I I just couldn't stop. I know that. So
Right.
I just kept on, and the way the soles came off, I could flip them to the side and still walk. So I still went as full out as I could. I was still slipping and shit, but yeah, I had to just
Kind
keep.
of people say they want to see your nails.
It's one of those.
Those are pretty. Ooh, I like those.
Mhm.
We're not gonna talk about my half painted, half not nail. Listen,
This is the longest I ever had my nails, and it's funny because I don't know if I was sounding like an ass when I used to ask females who wore long nails, "How do you wipe your ass?"
Oh,
the same way
Now
you
I
do.
know it's
Like
not that
that's not
difficult.
how.
It's not that difficult.
It's just not.
It's not. It's not. But
and someone who has naturally long nails all the time, it's just not.
that was my
I
number one
literally have
question
to
when
cut.
I saw them. Like how?
I have to cut my nails every 2 days because if not, they'll be like that long in like 2 or 3 weeks. What am I eating? I am eating some Wise Ridges
It's too
original and
early for
plain.
all of that.
Don't do me.
It is too early for all that.
Hey, MVN.
Yeah, I had a bagel and some sausage this morning for breakfast. Thank you, Lord.
When I came in, I made some bacon and eggs.
Why just came up on my timeline? Soldier Boy said he mad because they wouldn't let him withdraw $100,000 in cash out of the banks. They just don't do that at the bank. Like you have to
Yeah, they
tell them,
do. Listen, that's my money. I don't
no,
care.
you have to tell them so many after a certain amount, you have
You
to
have to
give
tell them
them
in
so many
advance.
days notice. You have to tell them in advance so they can actually have the cash on hand because they may not have $100,000 just laying around, depending on the size of the bank. Like if it's a smaller branch, they're not gonna give you, even if they have $100,000, they're not gonna give you that because they ain't gonna have nothing left in the bank to give other people. You know, so
Why
you
do
have
he
to
even feel the need to share that?
also when you take that amount out, it triggers something with the feds where
Absolutely. It
you have
absolutely
to
does. Because
let them
people don't
know.
take out large sums of money like that. Because the FBI coming to your house to make sure everything is okay, that
Hmm.
nobody has been kidnapped, you're not trying to pay a ransom or nothing like
Exactly.
that. I've
So
seen enough episodes of Law and Order and all of the things to know better. They're coming to your house to figure out, is everything all right here? Is there something we need to know?
I never knew they would do that.
yeah, no, they really do. They
They
you ain't
really
just
do.
taking. I don't care if that is your money. You ain't just taking that kind of money out of the bank and saying, "Yeah, give me my money." No, it don't work
Yeah,
like
if
that.
it's just out the clear blue sky, yeah, they coming to check on you, make sure is everything okay?
Mhm.
We just came to make sure everything is okay.
If
Is everything
anybody
all right?
wants to come up, because we're gonna get into some things this morning, you're welcome to come up. Hey, Jason.
Yeah, Jeff.
Uh-uh.
I could do the press ons, but it's just one other step, another step I have to do when I'm getting ready, and I try to reduce my time.
Not
What?
cocaine funds running around. You silly little baby. But it's the ignorance of it all for me. Like you just really thought you was gonna roll up to the bank and say, "Give me my $100,000 right now,"
Well, if
and it was
they
just gonna
don't know
work like
how it
that.
works, and especially if you've never taken that large sum of money out before, then you may be ignorant to the procedures and how it actually works. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that this may have been his first time trying to get that amount of money out the bank.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Tabitha, we're gonna be talking about some issues that I need to clean up because let me give y'all the premise of what was the exigence. There's our word of the day, exigence, EXIGENCE, exigence. Um, that said, no, you need to come up and clarify something. I was watching this show, and there were some of the people in the Rainbow Coalition that was supposed to be on this panel seriously discussing some serious topics. And the topics were worthwhile. The panelists may the panelists just didn't do a good job. And some of the things that
Jason,
were being said and some of the things that were being discussed were reckless and dangerous.
Oh no.
And we're gonna play portions of it here so y'all can see some of it. But I I wanted to clarify because y'all know on this channel we do a lot of politics, we do a lot of serious subjects and stuff like that. And I don't want the going thing. If somebody was to watch this, a panel of people who are in the spectrum and watch this, you get this in the hands of the wrong people, they will think people of color that are in the spectrum or a part of the Rainbow Coalition are just as ignorant to things or not knowledgeable, and they'll use that and run with it. And I was like, this is so unfortunate because it had great topics, but just the way they, oh, I was like, oh yeah, mm, mm, I'm gonna show you. I put the link if anybody wants. The link to the StreamYard is in the chat if you want it. You can come on at any point. Anybody who wants to come on. but the link to the actual video is in the description box. And so we're going to talk about those things. Y'all know I'm a man of many things, but I'm not an ignorant man. That one I would not be confused about. And if I am ignorant on something, I'll say, hey, I don't have all my details and facts about that. Give me some time. I'll come back and I can contribute to it. It's nothing wrong with people saying that they're or admitting to ignorance on something, but when you just revel in your ignorance and you just lay in it like a pig in the mud and just like, oh, I'm ignorant. It's okay.
Pig in the mud.
I'm serious. What do you hear some of this stuff? You're gonna be like, now you know what? It's a mess. Let me open this up. Anyway, Abby, what has been going on with you, my love? I asked Ty what's been going on with him. What has been going on with you lately, my love?
Nothing. Shucking and driving. Trying to survive. That's it. That's it. I'm waiting for the samples to come in so I can make some decisions, and I'm working on packaging and stuff like that for my launch in June. So just that. Who knew that starting a business would be this expensive? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ on the cross. The state keeps sending me things like, hey, by the way, you need to pay for this too. And this too. And this too.
Hey, Tanya. Shout out to Tanya's daughter, who on their Instagram page they put me on their story as we were promoting their
Special snacks.
yes, infused with nature's goodness.
Uh,
Yes. Mm. Anyway, but yeah, so the name of the show is POV,
Mm-hmm.
point of view. And so they have normally they have a guy who's hosting, and then they have four panelists. But I think maybe the guy who was hosting could not come on, and so one of the panelists served as host. Now there's a trans woman on there. There's a lesbian woman. There's a black gay man who is a conservative,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's another black gay man on there. Um, that's those are the people on the and then there's the host. Now the host wasn't on this episode,
Okay.
but they had the trans woman on there playing as host.
Okay.
What I will say about it is that they tend to argue strictly based off of their emotion. There's nothing wrong with an emotional argument
Mm-hmm.
if it's rooted in and grounded in facts and you haven't been researched and you not excluding things just for the purpose of you trying to make a point. So I'm waiting for my computer to do what it's supposed to do. Y'all know whenever I need my computer to act right, it
It don't.
inevitably decides to say, screw you, go to hell.
It's a conservative gay man, kind of fine. Plus, he gave top. I don't know if I can mess with a Trump voter. Oh my! Father God, in the name of Jesus. All right.
now he
So,
gave top.
child, child. You'll see him in just a moment. We go. I'm trying to cue it up. I should have probably wrote some timestamps. Um, and stuff like that. So one of the topics that they talked about, the first topic that kind of got under my nerves was I think it was when they talked about the Florida bill, the Don't Say Gay bill. Um so hold on, because the first topic they talked about was kissing friends in the mouth. That was a stupid topic. I'm not gonna say it was a stupid topic, but it was like I was like, okay.
Wait,
But
kissing your
then
friend in the mouth? Why are we kissing our
right,
friends in the mouth? Why
child,
is that happening? Why would you do that?
child. I don't
I
know.
have just never.
Hold on. Yeah, I've never been urged. I've never thought about kissing my friend in the mouth. If that's my friend, why are we kissing in the mouth? Like at all. Okay, I'm ready to share a screen. All right. Share screen.
I could see there being instances where, you wanted to convey your deep love and, caring and all that type shit for the person, and you may peck on the lip real
I
quick.
might get if you and your friends do that, like maybe as a greeting, you do a quick peck, boom, okay. But even then, like I'm just not kissing my friends in the mouth. Like maybe
No,
a kiss on the cheek, I'm okay with, but a kiss in the mouth, I'm
no.
just like,
I'm used to air kissing right now because
especially in the days of COVID, of the cocoa.
in the drag world, nobody want to mess up their makeup, so it's mwah, mwah,
But
that
it's just, but
part.
there are certain things that people do that's cultural. For example, the head nod for black people. Even if you don't know a black person, you know what I'm saying? You might be in a space where you're the only couple black people in that area. And so what you do is you do the head nod. You'll be like, it's just an acknowledgement of the other black person. You ain't got to know them from Adam. You see them, I see you, see me, I see you, I see you. We here. We here. And you keep it moving. A fist bump, like Jason said, or in the coalition, a hug. Like for us in the coalition, a hug is just like the head nod for black people. As black people, when you see a black person, you give them a head nod. If you're in the coalition, when you meet somebody, you give them a hug, a light tap, and you keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Soap and Wash,
Mm.
you keep it moving.
My family is a family of huggers. We hug
Oh
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
We hug people. Upon first introduction, you get a hug.
I hug my coworkers when I see them.
Yeah, hugs are good things. In the day of COVID, I get a lot of elbows now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of elbows in the day of the cocoa. You be like, hey, you give a good
Right,
elbow.
because there still wants to be some type of acknowledgement.
Right, right.
And okay, got you,
So
got you.
the one right here in the black is the trans woman. She's serving as the host, but normally she's one of the regular panelists. The guy with the suit is the one who I told you was the conservative.
That makes sense.
The lady in the middle, she's the lesbian. She's Latinx, and then this guy over here is
They don't like that, right?
it depends. Some people say they're okay with Hispanic, some people say Latinx. I've seen so many videos of people saying I like that. I don't know what I until I get some clarity, I don't know if they want to be called Hispanic. I don't know if they want to be called Latinx. I don't know because at first I was saying Latino, Latina. They were like, no, it's Latinx. I was like, okay. Then I went back to Hispanic. They were like, no, because Hispanic goes back to the European. I was like, okay. And so I don't know uh,
Just say
what I'm
them over there. No, no.
right. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful because I'm respectful of, I try to be respectful of people because I want them to be respectful of me. But if you haven't told me and I don't necessarily know how to, and you all can't come to a consensus on
Yeah, because
how to act.
I did only hear the opinion of one person, but she was saying how she was like, no, We ain't with that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. Y'all let me know, and I don't know. You know. Um. Anyway, so let me see where we are right now in this topic.
The education. So I'll start off and say that I do think parents has a right in their child's
Oh, this is the
education.
don't
Okay,
say
can I
gay bill.
stop you?
Okay,
Go ahead.
this is the don't. This is
Okay,
the
since
right
you
part.
said
Let me
that
rewind a little bit. This is the
that's
right
1
part.
through 5, I think K through 5,
Mm.
and they're telling you not
Hold on.
to.
Let me rewind a little bit more. I want to get to the right part.
You was kissing him like a woman. We're not. So we
Did you see
know.
how they put him as aggressive bottom?
Oh
Like
shit!
they're like,
Oh, why would you
it's the
do
interpretations
that?
of it. It's not. The problem is for me is that you
I'm like, oh.
That's so rude. Why would you do
That
that?
is a key.
those people in those comments that don't understand the culture and just want to be excited, and you're sitting up there in your bed and you're just gonna say pedophilia, and then you don't understand the culture of their people. People he kiss people on the forehead. There are people that hug. There are people that kiss on cheek.
Let me read. I'm trying to get to the don't say gay part.
Based off what was
On
just
that
said.
note, on that note, because they're trying to bring it back to me, and I'm going to be my uncle.
Right, she's
On
gonna
that-
get canceled with her
Oh
family.
my God. It was a bill
Yeah.
passed in Florida last week in education saying that you cannot say the word gay.
Mhm.
You know, you have children, I think it's primary school, so that's 1 through 5, I think K through 5,
Mm.
and they're telling you not to use the word gay. So
So
how do you
what
feel
word are
about
you
that,
supposed to
Dante?
use?
And so how do you feel about that?
So the bill, the Parents' Rights in Education, it was recently passed by the Florida State House. With the bill, only 4 pages long, so you can go and look it up.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How many pages is a regular bill?
And all it
First of all, it's not 4 pages, it is 7 pages. Get your facts straight now. If you gonna come up here, because my issue with him is he came up there as if he was fact checking the girls.
It's only 4 pages long. Go through
It's
your.
actually 7 pages. Let's just be clear. If you want to be correct about, my whole point was, hey, what's going on, Mr. Pisces? He said you had to come out the bushes. My whole point is, if you're going to have an argument, make sure that you got your facts correct and that you are speaking on things correctly. Okay, but I'm gonna let him continue.
varies, to be honest with you.
This is why they dumb it down, because just in case, like, they wanted to pass it through because it's not that many pages. Then I have to go to the legislation, and then I have to delay the government and all the other kind of stuff.
But to all my people who want to be politically active or just be engaged with public service, these small bills, it's always very good to read. I would not listen to any news pundits. Just do the reading for yourself, and do your own research. But to answer your question,
read and vote Republican. Right, that's
what he said.
Right, that's what he's saying.
That's what he said.
That's what he's saying.
But so the bill specifically, the parents' rights to education. So I'll start off and say that I do think parents has a right in their child's education.
Okay, can I stop you?
Go ahead.
Okay, since you said that, well, why are you sending your child to get educated and then you don't want me to educate, or you want to put a stipulation on what I educate?
So why are you talking about education? You just talking about math, girl, math, English, social studies.
No, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with this particular bill, but if you give me your child for 5-6 hours a day and you tell me I went to school to educate, so I want to educate, math, reading, science, arithmetic, or whatever the curriculum shall be. Then when I talk about something that you don't agree with, you have a problem with.
So the bill, people who are criticizing the bill has not actually read the bill. The bill says primary grade levels, which has restrictions. So the question is, do anybody think you should talk to somebody from pre-K to 5th grade about sexual orientation or gender identity? The bill also incorporates and says you can have a discussion with age appropriate or age development, but the age appropriate age development that's who interprets it. My interpretation of it when I read the bill is this is me, 7th grade to high school to 12. I think you can have those type of conversations. But when we're talking about primary grade level, K through 5, I think that's a territory only parent.
Okay, well, let me ask you
Parent
this.
should touch.
Let me stop right there. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in a long time. So you're saying that you don't start talking about sex and sexuality till 7th grade? You do understand there are kids in elementary that start experiencing puberty. You do realize that, right?
Listen, I think it should be sex education throughout, but I think it should be age appropriate
Right, age appropriate.
throughout, right? Like you shouldn't be discussing tops and bottoms in the kindergarten class. I don't think that should be happening. But you know, discussing feelings and how people have different feelings for different people starting that young, yes.
Yeah,
But like the mechanics of it all, that should come in later.
no.
But it should be age appropriate as they go along. It should never not be discussed, but it should be age appropriate. Like in kindergarten classes, you know, hopefully at that point, by the time they get to kindergarten, hopefully they know the names for all of their parts and
But
the
it may be
and know the difference between good touch and bad touch so that
exactly
they can
because you do
articulate
need
if something
to
is happening to them.
exactly. And the other part about it is you have to understand um that all households are not the same. And when children come to school, we have to, acknowledge at the school site that some kids are just not getting educated. Some people are not talking about it at all. I grew up in a household where there was no talk of no sex at all. And a lot of people have that same thing. So if you say, oh, well, let me let the conversation continue because it gets way worse from there. Like we're just at the tip of the iceberg. Okay, the tip of the iceberg for how this, devolved into like, oh my God. Yeah,
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Break the bill down in layman's terms to some of our viewers that don't understand because I feel like this. You know that you're a boy and you know that you're a girl. I know by 2nd grade, 3rd grade. You know that boys stand up to pee, girls sit down to pee in a real world.
Yes.
So why can't I say little Johnny's okay, so you rather say little Johnny's special, so we're gonna have to sit him over here in the corner because I can't use the word gay, I can't use the word homosexual, I can't use the word lesbian, so we're gonna separate little Johnny. So since all the so-called straight kids, you can go over here in this sector. Why is it that?
Let me tell you why.
So the bill
the
bill does not say that. And I think if we're teaching pre-K through 5th grade how to read, write, and do everything to be successful in life, why are we starting this conversation off with sex?
No, it's not about sex. It's about the word gay. So it's not about sex. It's not about
so sad.
Sex. It's about the word gay. Gay, that's it, gay. I would rather my nephew, who's 11 years old, to go out into the world and know that's a gay man or that's a lesbian. Instead of saying, oh, I don't know, I'm going to run from it.
No, I don't. I think it's deeper than that. And the reason why I'm going to tell you the reason as to why I disagree with 11 is a little different because we're going into middle school, middle school districts. But well, hold on. Let me just get this out because it's very important. When you talk about in middle school and pre-K, they kids don't know no better. They're make.
Oh, that might be my internet. Hold on.
Oh, I was gonna say because I know
That might be my internet.
Let's go to the 4th grade.
Would y'all please?
It doesn't matter. It's 1 through 5.
So he can pay this damn bill.
Having suffer bullying and
Wait a minute.
of that nature that have to deal with.
Pause them for a second.
Hold on. Okay.
Okay, so here's my question. everybody's like, why are they associating being gay with sex? I thought the very definition of being gay was it's a sexual orientation. It's who you feel um attracted to enough to have a um romantic emotional relationship with, as well as sexually attracted. I thought that was the whole that otherwise why wouldn't they just be, I don't like it doesn't, I thought that was the very definition of being gay. Am I, educate me if I'm wrong.
It is. And
Okay.
I encourage those people who are curious. I did a whole video about it called "The Letter People" on my channel. You can go look at it. It breaks down all of the different letters within the coalition. It does. So yeah, right. It is that Comcast, Mr. Pisces. Don't judge me, okay? Um, don't judge me, Mr. Pisces.
Judge
God.
Like
me,
all
please.
of these differentiations between
They have to
now
deal
being
with
From
the
lack of
fact.
Hold on,
knowledge.
hold on.
From lack of
Wait,
knowledge.
wait a minute,
It's lack of
Hold on, hold on,
knowledge.
wait
hold
a
on.
minute.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Because they was yelling at that point. Go
like
ahead.
he
I'm
was
sorry.
so I didn't understand why they called him aggressive bottom nail. Jesus Christ.
I'm wondering
Because
if
he doing a lot over there.
I'm wondering if he a little drunk.
Listen, I don't know
Oh,
what's
they are
happening with that
having
young
drink.
man, but okay, fine.
Oh,
Um,
'cause
now I understand that doesn't has nothing to being trans has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. As a part of the letter people in that community, it has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. It's how you identify in your gender situation. But I if gay is if the term gay is not about is clearly just a differentiation for your sexual orientation. So it would be associated with sex because that's what it is. That's it's a sexual orientation. It's not, you know, I feel like
I
I'm
will
coming.
let me help you out, Abby. Let me help you out. If you go, I'm self promotion here. If you go to the Teacher Project 2.0, we did a show about the gingerbread person, where it breaks
Right.
down the difference between identity and orientation, and all of the different ways that people uh see themselves, and so forth. And it originally was the gingerbread man, um example, but then that, just calling it a man was, not being inclusive, so it became the gingerbread person.
Mhm.
Because when I first learned it was gingerbread man, and then it got updated to the gingerbread person, still the same things, but they wanted to be more inclusive and so forth. So anyway, but we went through and broke down what the differences in all of those different things were. Shameless plug for the Teacher Project 2.0.
That's
Uh, what happened, Ty?
I didn't say anything. But I
Oh,
was
you
gonna
did.
say I do know there are some spaces, and I know if people do have young kids who they think may be different, or the child may be expressing their difference. There are a lot of places that do help walk you or walk you through that step. A lot of books. There are a lot of books out there for young children. And is that what you was talking about? The gingerbread person? Is that a book?
It's not a book. Well, I shouldn't say it's not a book. There might be a book.
'Cause-
But when I was first, this was maybe about 2015 or so. The district did a whole thing where we had to start to be inclusive of children on the spectrum. And so they had a specialist come out and they did a presentation for the whole faculty on the gingerbread person that taught us the difference between orientation and identity. And there was three terms. It escapes me right now. One was how you see yourself in the head, how you it had one deals with your genitalia and reproductive organs, and then one was dealing with the heart. So it was head, heart, and actual physical genitalia and so forth. And so um it the point that I'm making is it was to teach us how to look at children and just people in general on the spectrum, how to help identify people when they categorize them as one of the letters within the coalition, as well as being cognizant of pronouns, being respectful of a student. If a student says, call me this pronoun, then that is the pronoun that you use. This was going back 2015, well before the country is where it is today. And I remember me and Really B had some conversations some years ago. I think that might have been like 2018 or 2019. And she was like, we'll have none of that. We don't have any of that in my district. And so now we're in 2022, and now this is sweeping the country, and people really don't know how to deal with it, and people really are not knowledgeable and ignorant on how to look at and deal with kids and how to really go about educating kids in this. I don't think that everybody should do this. And let's be clear. Here's my whole problem with this whole argument about this. The bill is trying to fix a problem that's not there. That's the whole long and short of this. They are literally trying to fix a problem that is not there. And so what happens is you don't go into elementary schools where they're breaking down, oh, this is gay. They don't do that. They have established curriculums that teachers have to follow. And in the curriculums, that is not there. And they're already, it's decided on when they do talk about in science class about sex and different things like that. They have standards and a curriculum about on each grade level that breaks down specifically how far you can go on each grade level. That's already there, written into the standards that teachers teach to. What this is Ron death sentence saying, I want to run for president. I want to, gaslight my Republican base, and I want to throw raw meat at rabid dogs in some of these conservative parents. And I'm going to come up with this bill and get them all excited about a problem that's not there. It's just really not there. So you're passing a bill saying you can't do this. It's not being done. But here's what happens. If I write a bill to stop something from happening, I'm almost telling people this is happening, which is not true. So now people out here having, fights down to the school board building, foaming at the mouth and bloviating about all of this stuff, and none of it's happening. And they done got all excited, all up in the, I don't want my child to do this. Oh, you should be teaching my child this. Oh, because in a portion of this argument, they started talking about how parents should be the ones that's 100% responsible for what a child learns. Well, no. Because let's be clear.
Keep them
Do
home.
you see? Because their whole thing was, well, you should only be teaching English and writing and the core subject. Well, let's be clear. Have you looked at some of these parents out here? Do you see what the state of this country right now? And you want them to go about raising another generation of people like them? The whole point of you coming to school is so that you can be around people that are not just like your parents. That was the point of integration. That was the point of allowing everybody to have a seat at the table so that you could be around people, you could get to learn people, become more tolerant and tolerable of people, and become much more diverse and inclusive. We got parents right now that are having whole insurrections on this country. Hey, but you want those to be the people that do the main teaching of principles or how to live life. That's what you want. So you want us to leave it to them? Okay, fine. Okay, go ahead. Like, it's so idiotic. The whole thing is just idiotic. I was like, what?
Listen, listen. After a certain grade, I knew I couldn't help my children. Hell, I couldn't help my children with their homework. Listen, my son brought home some stuff, some math, and it was all letters. And I was like, son, are you sure this is a math class? I don't. What is this? I can't see. Listen, I was so bad in math. I started going backwards. I went from pre-algebra to basic algebra to finally I was just in a class called math because that's how bad I was at it. So
I
leaving it
tried
to
to
the
help
parents
my
is
nephew.
not. Listen, as a parent, that's not the right. That is not the correct answer.
I
It's
tried to
just not.
I tried to help my nephew a few years ago, and he had to be in like third or fourth or something like that. And I was like, oh my God, am I this bad? Like, I just
I
did
already knew.
not.
I didn't even have to guess, Ty. I already. I listen. Because my son was so good at math. He was, by the time he was like in 10th and 11th grade, he was tutoring students that were in college in math to help
Listen,
them. Because
let
I,
me go ahead, Eddie, I'm sorry.
no, I'm just lamenting over how bad I can't help it be.
This whole
Can you teach
notion that
cursive writing? Can you do that? Can y'all go back to that? Can we get to that?
this whole notion that the parents need to be much more involved in what
Thank
is being taught at the school is how we're getting to the point where they're erasing American history. Because the sins of those parents and the sins of those parents' parents, they don't want taught.
you.
And
Exactly.
so what happens is they say, no, I need to be involved in every single aspect of what my child is learning because I need to dictate what my child. Well, no, you absolutely don't. Because you might be sitting over here thinking that your child doesn't need to know how to write in cursive. But then now your child doesn't even have a freaking signature when they ask them to sign their driver's license picture. They write it shit in in regular letters. You think, oh, why does my child need to learn this? And you could be keeping your child from getting a job that could take you and the rest of your family out of whatever situation that y'all are in. You, oh, why is my child? Don't make my child feel bad about something that happened. But we may need to teach your child that so that your child doesn't make those mistakes again. And so that we don't take this country back 100 years.
Those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it.
So now you see how dangerous it is for this whole parents need to have complete control over what kids are taught in school. Parents can't come to an agreement on any goddamn thing.
Right.
Because what one person wants taught in their household isn't different from what another one. And let's be clear, a lot of kids are running households nowadays. So a lot of kids are the ones making decisions. They come home and tell you, oh, mom, this is so bad. This is so horrible what they're teaching me. When in all actuality, the child just don't want to do their assignment. I want to be lazy. So they went home and lied to their parent about. How many times did you go home and lie to your parent about something
And
because you wanted to get out of something?
half of the lessons students receive is not even coming from the teachers. It's coming from other students. When you go to school, you learning shit from how your friends and their mama do shit in their house with this one, how this one like to, address situations and how they were taught to. I mean, it's just, yeah, you better have some guidance up in there,
Like, it's crazy.
learning from each other.
It's so crazy. So the worst. I'm gonna fast forward to the worst part of it. Grab your snacks. If you have anything with sugar in it, take it now,
Oh God.
because you might spike out. You just might. Let me. I hope this is the right part.
Okay. Hold on.
You see how hot the topic is? I need you to grab a snack and come
Wait,
on
what's
back.
going on with
And
the screen?
We're gonna keep on fighting.
No, we not.
Come on back, everybody.
You might
Hold
already
on.
know who.
Ready?
Mhm.
I have sad news though. Our fashion icon, one of the most impressionable fashion icons, has passed
Wait,
away.
hold on,
Andrew
hold
Tate.
on. I don't know what's happening. Hold on. Let me fix this screen. Is that you, Ty, eating something? I love this hair, Abby. I really love this hair.
Thank you.
Like just laid down like that and everything. Like it's real cute, just like that.
It's my new hair friend. We gonna see how she.
I like this. Just I like it. Like yeah.
You got
Hmm.
totally glammed in less than an hour.
Yeah. Cause listen, this when I don't have to stop to like be answering questions and stuff, it take a lot less. It take a lot less time when I'm not trying to run a show. El Teddy, I depend on El Teddy to do the lion's share. Okay, give me 1 second because there's somebody at the door. I'll be right back.
Listen, when I tell you, every chat be going off. What is going on with my I don't know what's going on with my
It's cheap.
YouTube.
It's cheap.
Like my YouTube is showing green screen for everything. I don't even understand. Chat. Hey, Spicy Original. I ain't even been saying hi to y'all. It is giving Solange, Jason. It does give me Solange. It very much so gives me Solange.
It's like rain in the snow.
All right. Why is this thing just green?
I'm gonna try to take a nap, but I know it's gonna be time to get up and go to work.
What time you gotta go?
It'd be good if I get out of here around 3:30.
Mm. Yeah, by the time you take that nap.
And I'm tired as hell right now.
So what you gonna do? Take a 5 hour energy?
I'm sure when I get down there, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna get a Red Bull.
A good Red Bull goes along with this. A good Red Bull goes a long way. I done took a Red Bull and be like, yes. Um, so okay, so I don't know. I'm gonna just play the audio and let y'all hear it because I don't know why my YouTube is giving me all green screen. But hold on. Adjustment to it, but there. Unfortunately, and we all know this. It's not like it's a sensitive subject. Hold on. Hold on.
Sorry, it was the Amazon at the door.
Are
I
you
did.
gonna do
I
your
did like it.
unboxings?
Listen, it was the Amazon man ringing my doorbell.
Oh.
I'm
Hey,
waiting.
Raphael. Hey, T Lounge. I did refresh T Lounge. I don't know what's happening, but it's fine. I'm gonna just let it be green screen because I don't. You don't really have to see them. You just need to hear the audio. I don't know what's happening.
It's cheap.
All right. Because at one point the Hispanic lady chimes in, and I'm like, really?
In most cases, there are some subjective cases, but you're still doing there are subjective cases where there are some women that are strong.
Before they get to that subjective case.
Oh wait, hold on.
Is the Black Lives Matter, the people that are in it, it's not an umbrella for everyone. It's not.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I like
together. So
that's the Hispanic rubs. Trying to get
talk about what Dante. I think that because of the nature that
I'm right here,
the climate that we're in, I think that it's for me. I think it's at least what I would want.
All right, I think I found the right spot. Here we go.
Like his personality, his grandness. Can I recognize his work out of? No, but I just know
that was when they were talking about Andre Leon Talley.
I did not know about the gentleman until people posting on
because of the nature that we're in, the climate that we're in. I think that it's for me. I think it's at least what I would want moving forward in the future. What I would love to see is us not mentioning our sex because it means it overpowers the overall message about what you've done and everything. The first trans this one and the first gay black
the first black
it doesn't mean
anywhere
it does mean I'm not diminishing the significance of it, but it's not.
It should be a footnote. It should be a footnote.
Not like a wink.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this since we're on that topic. What do you do? Does LGBTQ resonate in Black Lives Matter to any of you? Does it coincide?
So I'll say this, and I'm gonna start.
It was the breath for me that he just took.
So
here you go.
I've told people this for many years. I support the statement, but I do not support the movement.
And I ask you why.
The reason why I do not support the movement because I think Black Lives Matter has become very political. And they only come out every time that it's only in election season. If you really if you really supported Black Lives Matter, you would first talk about your HBCUs. And I'm not talking about Howard. And I'm not talking about your prestigious schools. I'm actually talking about Savannah State University. Shout out the Tigers. I'm talking about Fort Valley University. I'm talking about Kane College. I'm talking about a lot of these other colleges that people just, historically black colleges that we overlook. Let's put college aside. Let's talk about our public school systems. If you liberals, white liberals specifically, I'll just go ahead and be frank with it. If you really care about Black Lives Matter, why don't you give money? You can donate to inner city schools. Why don't you do that? If you really care about Black Lives Matter, when there's not two parents in the household and you yourself know that, why don't you try to help that single parent out? Well, hey, I mean, there's so many different things to actually go under the umbrella of Black Lives Matter. But the only reason that we continue to just do it again is just to get votes. Because all the money that's ever donated to Black Lives Matter, look it up, is only going to political candidates.
Look it up. Let's let the lady in the middle share her.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Girl, don't give me that. We was all just going.
Look
girl.
here.
I'm sorry.
All right. No,
you should just tell me shut up, right?
No.
It's easy to tell them shut up.
But no, you know how I share my opinion, and then I let y'all
vanish.
and then I let y'all go and I share my opinion because a lot of the times my opinion is the unpopular opinion, no matter how much y'all debate together. So my opinion is
like it rough.
what you said.
You like a little.
I believe in all lives matter.
Right.
And
right.
I've never
Thank you for being tuned into POV. Girl, we are going home.
That's the whiskey people.
And I have I just think that it's a
Okay, well let me ask you.
I think that it's a cause just to say that hashtag Black Lives Matter. Because it's founded by a white man. I just think that it's for social media. It's for it's for the cloud. And I do believe that some people are like, yeah, but they don't know the backstory of it and all of that. And so it's like all of the black on black crime, all the other crime that's going on. It's like all lives matter. There's police killing kids. There's police killing Spanish people. There's police killing all
white
people as well.
So
It's
you guys,
there's-
collectively, you don't think that Black Lives Matter has anything to LGBTQ? You think it has something to do with everybody, whether you're gay, straight, Chinese, black, white, Filipino? It's an umbrella for everybody.
No,
this might come out.
No, I think that their Black Lives Matter are all around. You said I'm disrespectful.
No, I feel like this conversation is just.
I don't think it is. It's just
I'm not
opinions,
gonna
but
lie. This
I think that
very sexist.
yeah, you're fine. You're fine. But I think that it is the Black Lives Matter. The people that are in it.
Mhm.
It's not an umbrella for everyone. It's not an umbrella just for blacks. The African Americans. I don't want to say blacks. I'm mixed, so people might have controversy against that. But
I agree. I can agree
I
with
just
that.
think that it's
I can
that.
agree with
I
that a little bit.
I do not believe that it's anything.
I believe it's a little
LGBT
First of all,
or anything.
answer me this question.
So
And let's be
collectively,
collectively, what have Black Lives Matter accomplished for Black people?
I know they make a lot of money because they selling hats at every gas station you pass by.
Yeah.
Are you?
What have they accomplished for Black people?
So George Floyd didn't mean nothing. That
No,
didn't.
what did they accomplish? That's not what they had.
No. Let me finish.
George Floyd's family and the attorney was
Excuse
the
me.
and all of that. It wasn't the
Excuse
riot.
me.
And honestly, they were going
Okay.
to George Floyd's family with all due respect, and I'm sorry to hear
Sorry,
what happened to
we're
George.
so sorry.
Yeah,
We're so
but
sorry.
that
They
the
would've
court
done that
was
by
going to
themselves.
decide on. I mean, you cannot be a human being, and I understand through Emmett Till and through history of America,
Right.
a lot of tragedy.
How many people's death affected Black Lives Matter?
First of all, George Floyd family was going to be compensated, but my question goes back to Black Lives Matter.
not
What
about
have they accomplished for Black people besides saying?
getting
let's
a
get
bill on the table and affecting the
What
whole
bill?
world?
What bill did they get on the
They
table?
didn't get passed,
What
but it
bill?
was what's his name?
Specifically.
John Lewis. What's his name? I forget. Lewis.
John Lewis.
Yes, John. That was his name. That was a bill. They also had a bill that they put. They also put up a bill for the George Floyd. They also put up a bill for George Floyd as well. That they also your party shut down based on majority votes.
What's your
So
party?
let's not. My point is, there has been Rodney King. There has been several different people that we already know that this black man or someone of a person of color has been discriminated against and has been over prosecuted
Around the world.
or has been used for police brutality.
Around the world.
George Floyd's case and this one, black folks were done. They were tired, and they were not going to allow this to happen. This
Well,
one
let me tell you who did allow. Let me tell you who did allow it to
You
happen. It was
cannot-
the black people that was
you
recording
cannot-
this video who lied
you
to
cannot
get choked.
tell me
They allowed it to happen.
you cannot.
That's a fact.
You
Because
cannot.
you can watch
You
it all
want
the
to
time.
just because you
Number
say
two.
FACT, that don't mean that it means George. Let's stick on it. George Floyd affected the whole fucking world, and that was in 2020. How long has black men been killed in police brutality? And this one affected the whole world. It
Because
hit
it was
different.
hate.
hit different.
It was hate.
Hold on. You sit while I talk. So it was Tim Scott who did bring a bill to the floor, to the Senate floor. And it was Kamala Harris, our vice president right now, who rejected it. So if you want to play politics,
Do your research.
make sure you follow
Kamala
politics.
Harris
Oh, I
rejected
love
the
him.
George Floyd
I
bill.
love him. I love him.
Wait, no.
Now, this is where I got to jump in. I got to
Kamala
stop.
Harris rejected.
I got to stop. It's the misinformation for me. It's just the ignorance of it all. It's the fuckery of it all. It's a whole mess. First of all, no white man started Black Lives Matter. Let's be clear. The first iteration of Black Lives Matter I remember here was right after Trayvon Martin verdict, when George Zimmerman got off. If you remember, that's when you first started the accident. I remember hearing Black Lives Matter. And I remember learning that it was black women that started Black Lives Matter hashtag. The hashtag I remember was started by black women. Nothing to do with some white man. So I don't know what the hell this Hispanic lady come out talking about, oh, a white man created. Wait, what? That's stupid. And
Not they
and
trying to whitewash and colonize our movement. What the hell?
right,
What you?
like, that's not how this happened.
Oh my god.
And then they think these people on here seemingly are saying that Black Lives Matter didn't start till like George Floyd. Are you kidding me? Did you forget Mike Brown? That's when most people in the viewing
Listen,
public
Mike
first
Brown,
started to
Orlando
hear about
Castillo.
Black Lives Matter. Or when he says it only comes around when it's election year. What are you, stupid? What are you, ignorant?
It's all year.
It's the
All year
ignorance
long, my
of it
beloved.
all.
That's not how. That's not how any of this. That's not how any of this works. Of course, hot button topics like that are heightened during that time, but at no point do they like go on vacation. Oh, it's not election time, so let's just chill about what we finna do. No, that's not how that's not how any of that works. That's not how it works. Oh, merciful God. Okay.
I was just
I get
sitting there
excited,
like,
my head hurt.
it floors me. And then I get see it was the guy who calls himself the conservative one, trying to act like he was educating the people on on situations about, oh, Tim Scott, because once you bring out Tim Scott, now I got to go in and drag you for everything that you're worth. Because let's be clear, what happened was, sir, who wants to drag out Tim Scott? What happened was the George Floyd bill, which was written by Representative Karen Bass of California, a beautiful black queen. Okay, when that bill passed the House and made it to the Senate, because sometimes you have to teach the people. The Republicans rejected it and said that they didn't want any parts of it because they didn't want to reform policing, because they said the George Floyd bill was too far reaching and overstepped too much. So the Republicans got Senator Tim Scott to put his name as the author of a new crime bill, because they felt like if it came from a black person that it would be more, it would be more inclusive, because the black created this. The black senator made this. But the reason that Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, who were the other two black senators in the Senate at that time, because we only had three, like we still only have three now.
Speak on it.
The reason that they voted no was because it did nothing. The bill that Tim Scott made really didn't reform policing. They had no actions that had any teeth in anything of reform. It was all smoke and mirrors. And so, as a matter of fact, I pulled it up because I said, let me educate this young man, because he thinks that he's so knowledgeable. Let's just be clear. Here is why Kamala Harris and Cory Booker voted no. Because the Senator Scott bill, it did not restrict the qualified, it would not restrict the qualified immunity doctrine. It would not ban chokeholds or otherwise federally restrict police use of deadly force. And it would not restrict no-knock warrants. So they absolutely would not. Yeah, Tim Scott, we're not going with this foolishness, which is all things that were in the original George Floyd bill. But you got people over here, blathering about, screaming like they are just so educated. Senator Tim Scott and your Vice President Kamala Harris. You are got to be the dumbest person on earth. You sat there. Did you hear the part? You probably missed the part where that same black man who calls himself a conservative had the unmitigated gall to say out of his mouth that George Floyd died because the black people sat there and watched and wouldn't go and stop the police. He said that. You want me to let you hear it again? He
I,
said,
I
"Do I need to
know,
let?"
no, because I know that black man didn't say that. Not
Oh yes, he did.
with
Do,
the
do I need to?
video
Do I
evidence
need to play
at
it again for you?
hand.
Do I
I
need to play that again for you? You want me to let you hear it? Where he
I
said,
don't want to
I'm
be mad. I don't want to be mad while I'm
okay,
putting my new
okay.
nails
I ain't
on.
gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
I don't want to be mad. Oh,
Like,
I'm
what are we
mad.
talking about? And so it sensed me because I'm like, you have people in the coalition that are knowledgeable in these things that could have a real rational informed conversation. I have no problem if you want to be on the other side about it. I have no problem, saying all of that, but don't try and change the facts of history. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Right.
try to change the facts of history
That's what they do
or
to.
conveniently leave them out. And then the negligent part of it is the conversation was just left there, just messy. It's just like if you were making a cake and you messed it all up and it came out, just half done, half of it's falling off. No, and you just say, I'm just gonna leave this here. I don't care. It's just gonna stay there. You ain't tried to clean it up. You ain't tried to fix. I'm just gonna leave this here. Fuck it. Like,
Y'all can clean it up. Y'all got it. And I'm
right.
gonna just make the mess and then I'm gonna just bounce on out of here.
Right. And that's kind of how I felt. I was like, so y'all really just gonna let this, like, really, like, and when this lady talk about all lives matter, the Hispanic woman, really?
Ma'am,
Because
please,
see, it's
ma'am. That's not what we're doing today.
like Hispanic lady, y'all love conveniently to try to put on y'all own mantle of white privilege and breastplate of white supremacy because y'all don't want no parts of our black asses when it's not convenient for you. Y'all want us to be in the forefront doing
That's
all of
not
the
just the
fighting.
Latino people. That's all of them.
Oh yeah,
They
y'all
they
want us
all
to
want
do
our
all of the
privilege, but
fighting.
never our blues. That's all they want.
We do all of the heavy lifting. We be out here fighting and protesting and getting killed and gunned down and going to jail and doing all of the heavy lifting. And then once we get real change to happen, now y'all want to come and say, "Oh, okay, great, let's do
Or when
this."
or when they
Yay.
finally turn on y'all, then y'all looking at us like, can y'all help us? We know y'all been through
Mhm.
this. Y'all know what to do. Oh, but
And, and,
we
and,
needed help.
and
Where
and
was
the,
y'all
the
at?
fact that
Where were y'all?
the fact that the other black people on that panel sat there and let her utter those words out of her mouth, all lives matter, without addressing her verbally, without eviscerating her, no ma'am, no God. We do all of the work. And let's be clear, Hispanic people, you all come from African descent as well. So as much as y'all would like to remove yourselves from us, let's be brutally clear and honest. But y'all don't want to talk about that.
Of course
They
not.
don't want to talk about that because you want to say all lives matter. Okay, okay.
And we agree that all lives matter, but it's not all lives that are in danger currently. So shut the fuck up. It's very
Because
simple. It's not
because the
that hard
people
to
seem to
understand.
forget. Because the
If the
people seem to
house
forget
down the
that
street is
black
on
is
fire,
included.
don't come out your house talk about all houses matter. All the houses are not on fire. Go help the
Exactly.
house that's on fire.
Make it make sense.
Jesus Christ. People get on my nerves. I have to say, just get on my nerves, Jesus.
I sat there like, but these are the people that they have sitting at a table calling themselves seriously discussing topics and are representing the Rainbow Coalition. This is why I get so upset. I'm okay if you got the shows that it's like the web reality TV shows. Okay, those things have a place, and let them do what they do. They're gonna be over there fussing, fighting, kicking, screaming, reading each other down. Okay, great. But if you're going to have a platform and a show where you want to have serious conversations and serious discussions, let's go ahead and do that and have people on there that can add to the serious discussion. These people come on here and are just ignorant.
In
They
that
aren't researched or anything.
in that note, I would love to contribute in some way, but I'm getting tired about a second.
Yeah, you need to go to bed because
Go to bed,
3:30 will be here
guys.
before you know it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see y'all later.
You going
All
to
right, baby.
You going to work with these nails on?
Yeah. They ain't
I know you. I just said that just so you can.
it's all
Let
right,
him know.
y'all.
All right, baby.
Ty haven't been to bed yet. Child, that baby need to go to bed. But do you see, Abby, why I was so incensed when I watched that?
Yes, I could absolutely 110% understand why you would be upset because it's the same rhetoric regardless of if you are straight and or gay. That same rhetoric is being spewed on both sides and it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any like how do you not understand that because of the color of our skin, we have a different lived reality. We have different fears, we have different triggers. And for you to sit up there and be like, well, all lives matter, you not paying attention to what's happening here. And why do we have to keep repeating ourselves with you? Why don't you understand that me as a black mother, I'm literally praying every day that my son can leave and come back the same way that he left. That I'm praying that he has no interaction with the police, even innocently. I don't want him to have any interaction. He drives for Coca-Cola. So there could be a time when he gets pulled over. And why is that as a mother my worst fear? That he gets pulled over by the police. You don't understand that there's a lived experience that fuels that fear and it comes from a very real place. And you just don't get it. You're not gonna get it until it's your son being shot dead for no reason. Just because he went to the store to get some snacks and didn't make it back home. Just because he is a registered gun carrier and he gets pulled over and he's following the cops' instructions because they love to say, well, if you just comply, even when we comply, they're still killing us. So we damned if we do, we damned if we don't. And the fact that y'all don't acting like you don't see it, you have no sympathy for us in this moment, and then you try to what about us to death in these situations? Well, what about when black people kill black people? I really want you
That
to
has nothing to do with anything.
I really want y'all to
Like,
understand that black on black crime is not a real thing. It's just
it's
called
really
crime.
not.
It's
It's
called
really not.
proximity. It's proximity. It's who crimes tend to happen with people who are in close proximity to each other. Oh Jesus, I can't. No, Anna Navarro. We're not even talking about.
No.
See, nephew, we're not even talking about the View. This is a whole different.
Woo!
This is, I guess, the LGBTQ version of the View. It's called POV. I
I
think
put the
it's
link
on
in the
YouTube.
yeah. I put the
It's a
link
YouTube
to
show.
the
It's kind
channel.
of like The View. First of all, I was shocked and amazed that they was all in the same room. That's the first thing that sent me. Oh, y'all all in the same room. Ooh, that looks weird. Y'all not on two different. Everybody not at their house beaming in from. Okay, all right.
Oh
So
no,
y'all
but you see now I hate to
all up
wax
on each other,
political.
breathing each other, spit and air. Oh no. Oh,
I hate to wax political, but you do notice that your president is full on no masks no more. Did you see the State of the Union? You did see the State of the Union. You
and now,
did see
even
that.
though I voted for him, because what choice did we have? It was him or Cheeto Mussolini.
Yeah,
That's not my,
not Cheeto Mussolini.
that's not that's it's giving lesser of two evils. It's getting I had no choice but to vote for this man because the other one is insane. It's giving he probably would have been the first to have boots on the ground in Russia in the Ukraine trying to help. We would be in for real in World War III right now if y'all could continue to let that man listen.
Listen, I noticed that there wasn't a mask the first. Did you notice that?
I did. And we strangers. I don't know y'all well enough for all of that. So I don't
Like, mind you, one of the worst kept secrets is how the cocoa has been traveling through Congress. If you
like
notice,
a freight train.
there's been several things, and when you look at the count of the votes, there's always this number of people absent because they got the cocoa.
It came in like a wrecking ball.
But your president is now pushing, your president and Democratic established people are pushing all over the country, because even in blue states now they dropping mask mandate. Oh, you don't need no mask. Oh, you don't need no mask. Oh, you don't need no
I
mask.
need a
Okay.
mask. Listen, I went to Top Golf Tuesday, and I was the only one with a mask. Like I came in, like it's you open and you go in the doors, and it's like a huge open area. Like the little young man behind the desk had a mask on, but he and I was the only. I was like, oh, and we was both. We was the only one with. I said, oh, that's what they do. I said, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep my mask on. Okay, listen, they out of control. I listen. Now I'm looking at people weird. They walking around with no mask on. Don't you need? Where your mask at? What you? Okay.
I mean, if I'm being brutally honest, the mask helped some people look better. Like Boo Boo, you should have kept that mask on, because now that I can see you without it, oh,
Yikes! Not your mask served you better on your face, because without it, now you look like Ugmo.
UGLY, you ain't got no alibi. You ugly.
Well,
And so now I can guarantee you, mark my word, if it ain't already out, it will be out. The CDC is about to come out with something saying there's no need for masks anymore. I think they already came out with a diluted version of that, but I know that's coming.
My mama said I gotta wear my mask, so I'm wearing it. Listen, and my mama has kept me alive longer than you niggas. So whatever my mama say is what's finna happen for me. Listen, I love y'all, but here's what I'm not gonna do.
Well, little baby, that's actually not true. The corporations have not lost money. What they found is the economy is doing much better, and corporations are perfect. What happened? It was two things going on at one time. Corporations were actually making money, but they had people thinking that they weren't. And so what corporations did was, oh, they think we ain't making money, even though we are, then let's just be greedy and let's raise the prices of things, since they already think that we're in a downward spiral when we're really not. So we'll make everything higher because they'll understand why we're having to do that. And now we have this whole inflation thing that's going on that is way out of control. And then you have just it's just a perfect storm of taking more from people. And then when your president went out to talk about, oh, he's gonna have people that's gonna hunt down the people, because you got so much energy for the people who did the PPP loans and the people who did the unemployment or whatnot. Why don't you have that energy for voting rights? Why don't you have that same energy for the George Floyd bill that we was just talking about? Why don't you have that same energy for things that really are going to impact our lives? If those people took that money, baby, the money is gone. It's gone. Let them have it. Some people really needed it in order to, keep themselves afloat. Let them have
really
it.
did. Think how desperate they had to be in order to commit fraud like that knowingly. How
If
desperate
they
a
took that
situation
money,
you got to be
let them
in.
have it. You
Let
got
that
too
money
much
share.
other things. You got too many other things that you need to be putting that kind of energy in. What about your Build Back Better act that never went anywhere in the goddamn Senate and that's being held hostage by 2 or 3 senators? Where's the energy for that? Because there are several things in the Build Back Better bill that you could just go ahead and get done through an executive order if you wanted to, but you're just choosing not to. Where's the energy for stopping the states across the fruited plains from keeping people from voting? Because we talked about on My Politics of It All how they've already, I think it's up to 46% of the early votes in the Houston area that they say, yeah, we're not taking that. I reject that. No, really, I'm not going to say he's proven that he can't do both. He's proven that he can't do both. He hasn't been able to get any of that. He wasn't able to get Build Back Better done. He wasn't able to get the voting bill done. He wasn't able to get George Floyd done. So I don't want to hear he can do both. He obviously cannot do both.
I think
You over there, he's over there telling.
I think it's physically possible for him to do both, but if he's willing to, he's not even. It feels like he's not even. Like that's not even a priority or a direction that he's going into besides lip service. That's what it feels like. Now I could absolutely be wrong, but that's what it feels like to me.
That's what the whole speech was to me. But you passed the infrastructure bill, and we just did an article about how the new infrastructure bill is going straight through some Black neighborhoods. Now they're building these new bridges and roads conveniently through all Black neighborhoods, tearing it apart like we're back in the damn 1950s and 60s with eminent domain. And they were building the interstates. We're still funneling money into the hands of corporate construction companies, white men who have lined the pockets of all of those politicians, to include Biden and some of his establishment Dems. Don't make me go down this road. Ridiculous. He didn't mention it, so Jeff, because he didn't want to remind you people that he failed.
Ridiculous.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, really, B. And normally I would be like, yeah, you can do both. You can do all of those things, but you've proven that you can't. And while you're over here twiddling your fingers, we're in primary seasons. And people's votes are being suppressed in primary season.
Who's our candidate? Who we got in the running? What the people saying?
For what office?
For president, because when can we replace him? Who we gonna replace him with?
Not Kamala. Not her. She's not the answer. I'm just saying.
I've heard that. I've heard that on several.
Yeah. Kamala, yeah, you're not. Mm-mm. Now, what's going to end up happening is the Dems are going to be at a stalemate only because, excuse me, politically, they technically are never going to try to back someone else with Biden being the incumbent. So if Biden says, I want a second term, they're going to lockstep and key say, I guess we got to back Biden because he's the sitting president. And then you'll be forced into another 4 years of him.
No, thank you.
Kamala has begun to alienate so many segments of the population that her political capital right now is shot to hell. Now, I'm not saying that she can't build that back, but right now. And then you have the upcoming bloodbath that's about to happen in these midterm elections, where Mitch McConnell is probably going to end up taking the Senate back and being this the majority leader again. The Senate, the House only has a 6-seat majority in the wow. There's only a 6-seat majority, which is easily that's easy to do. Make up 6 seats in the House. Oh, that's real easy. Which means that you'll have somebody like who, Mike McCarthy, as the Speaker of the House. or some other Yahoo way off the right wing side person as a Speaker of the House. So that means that Joe Biden ain't gonna get nothing done, which is
Right.
why when he had this opportunity, he had all three. He had both um, chambers of Congress, and he had the executive branch. You should have been doing all you could.
Right. Listen, I would have thrown every Hail Mary, everything into everything that I ever said that I was gonna try and do, I'd have thrown it in there. Something gonna get passed. We throwing everything at the wall.
But the Dems, have poor leadership. And let me tell you how I can make that estimation. When the Republicans are in place, sure, you have Republicans that'll get on the news and say, "But I don't really agree with a lot of my colleagues." I feel that will verbally say that they're not in agreement with a lot of the stuff that their fellow Republicans think. But
But they
guess what
steady
happens when it
voting.
comes time to vote? Baby, when it comes time to vote, they be done had a meeting with whoever that is. Hey, boo, I don't care how you feel. This is happening
This is how the
now.
party is voting, and you better get in line.
You either get in line or you are giving up your
Right. You
political
either get
career.
down or get laid down. What you want to do?
Get your life in order. And guess what they do? They fall their asses in line. Even all of these people who claim to be moderate Republicans. Look at the votes that have been happening in the Senate this year. Those people haven't voted with the Dems at all. None haven't even tried. But you're supposed to be this great leader. I remember during the presidential debates, you told Donald Trump and the rest of the world, "I am the Democratic Party. I am the leader of the Democratic Party." Well, damn it, if you're the Democratic Party and the leader of the Democratic Party, why you can't get your party in line? Where's your leadership, sir? Because you got members of your own party stopping you from doing what you need to do. Hello, sir. I don't think the Republicans are going to nominate Trump. I think they're going to nominate death sentence. Watch, death sentence going to end up getting that. Well, if Governor Hot Wheels don't come up behind, but Governor Hot Wheels is not going to get it.
Listen, I don't want neither. Listen,
I don't think Republicans is going to give it to Donald Trump, but they'll give it to Governor death sentence. The only hope for the Democrats at this point is for them to say, we're not is for not them, but for Biden to say, "I'm not seeking re-election."
you think he would do that? You think he would
Mm-mm.
step aside for the
Nope.
greater good? You don't?
Nope. Mm-mm.
That's so
I
funny.
have no faith in him doing that. I have no faith in that. So I don't. I think Democrats are in a bad place right now.
Listen, I feel like if they let DeSantis in there, he's more dangerous than Trump. Trump just say any and everything outside of his neck that he can. He just say any and everything, and he don't have no real political prowess. He doesn't know how it works. He goes by off of his feelings, how he think it should work. But DeSantis has been in this game for a very, very long time. For a very, very long time. And if anyone is going to be a show enough problem when he get in because he know how to play the game, it would be him. Like defeating Donald Trump with the truth is not very difficult. I feel like DeSantis knows the ins and outs, and he got that slick tongue, and he can do counter arguments and all this other stuff. Listen,
Well,
I'm scared. Let me be very clear. I'm scared.
my problem is I see you talking about Cuomo, so Jeff. The problem is establishment Democrats are going to do everything in their power to mess up the political career of anybody that is not a part of the establishment, that aren't one of these centrists. You saw it with Cuomo. Not that Cuomo was innocent, but they made it a point that they was going to make an example of him. You saw it with a girl up in Buffalo, New York. Oh, why can't India Moore, with the black lady who won the Democratic primary, but the Democratic establishment backed a Republican and ended up having a write-in candidate and stuff like that. But it was a mess, and you see this all over this. It's just not one or two stories. They do this all the time. They did it with Nina Turner. Anytime you have somebody who's progressive leaning, establishment Dems say, yeah, I want no parts of that. And so you end up with more of these weak centrist Dems when the Democratic Party is not leaning toward the center. They're leaning more left. Just like the Republican Party is leaning more right, the Dems are leaning more center. But here's what happens. They're looking at numbers, skewed numbers. They're looking at political polling, and we all, if you know anything about politics and poli sci, you can make a political poll, you can make a poll any kind of way you want. It depends on the cross section of the country that you decide that you want to ask these questions, or who's actually willing to answer these questions. Then they're also basing numbers off of like primary numbers and things like that, when we all know a lot of people choose not to vote in the primaries. A lot of the people who are real, the younger base just doesn't get really galvanized to vote until you get to the actual elections. But by that time, the more progressive candidates have already been primaried, because you get the older, more conservative or centrist Dems that are going to go out there and do that. And then we end up with the same price. So they base their numbers on, oh, you see the primary, the people elected and wanted a centrist Dem. No, you're looking at skewed numbers. But who am I anyway? Abby, what you got going on today? You going live for the people today?
Now, no. But no, I'm gonna do what's the people? Superman and Lois and Naomi, and I think Drag UK's versus the world today. Since I
I
didn't
might do a sexy Friday tomorrow.
Huh?
Might do a sexy Friday tomorrow.
You gonna do a sexy Friday?
Tomorrow. Yeah, do a sexy Friday.
Okay, I'm down with a sexy Friday. Listen,
I might do that tomorrow.
I'm all down for the get down. Listen, you ain't got to threaten me with a good time.
Those people who are members, become a member, you'll find out. And I might do a Twitter sexy Friday. You know, if we do a Twitter sexy Friday, shout out to my members. Well, thank you, my love, Abby, for being on here with me. We've been on here an hour and 40 minutes. It's time for me to get off and go get something to eat and lay down.
Shout out to us not having an actual sugar spike. We did good to hold our composure. It was close there for a second, but
Jesus, I ain't have to spike out today.
Amen.
But definitely, as I always say, I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged and much appreciated. Thank you, Quintessential, for your contribution that you made today. Thank you so much, my love. You are always so kind to me. We'll be back. Y'all know how we do. We'll be back. I might do a sexy Friday tomorrow, so let's look out for that tomorrow. And we have Silly Saturday coming up. On Saturday, it is what it is. We'll do that. And Anything for the people, Abby, before we get off?
Yes, educate yourselves. Don't just take people word for shit. People are liars. Educate yourself. Google is free. Just go right on. Go, just ask Google, and they will tell you.
And
Thank you.
people will know the truth and will purposely withhold the truth.
Say it again.
They will know the
Betting
truth
on
and
the fact
purposely.
that you're not gonna look it up for yourself. You're just gonna take
Mm-hmm.
their word for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I mean, hell, go look at the story, the Netflix series Inventing Anna. You see how she was able to get away with all of that stuff. Did you see it, Abby?
Yes.
Girl, a mess. Girl, even to the bitter end. She even got the Vivian chick to try and feel bad for her and go along with it. And she looked at her like, girl, we your friends. Like that baffled two people who baffled me at the end of it. The black girl, um, Neff. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I was like, Neff was the one. I was Neff,
Where
girl,
your discernment at, girl?
girl, and she was still holding on to be a, riding or dying for this chick to the end. She baffled me, and then Vivian toward the end, when you saw you had all of the evidence that she was just a liar and a scammer, and you still over here trying to act like she's the victim, but that's white women. They see it for each other. Y'all want to make this white woman the
The be all
out
end
to be
all. Like
right.
she
Y'all want to make her to be this innocent little chick. Had she been black, had that been Neff doing
oh
all of
no.
that,
Y'all
she
have
would
been
have been
you'd have
under the
threw her under
jail.
the bus so fast.
What she would have been under the jail after the first one, the very first hotel she went to and said, "Wait for baby," they would have called the police immediately. Immediately. I was looking like, what? Child. My best friend said I need to watch The Gilded Age on
On
HBO Max.
HBO. Every
He,
time I go to HBO Max, it's sitting there looking at me. Maybe I need to watch it too. Maybe
he
that.
said it's so good. He says the way they be reading down, he be like, listen, dog, he said I'd never let you down. So I know I gotta watch Fresh Prince. Did it come out today?
I don't know. I have to look.
I think
If
Bel
so,
Air came out today, so
I'm
I
gonna do
watched that
all I
today.
can for today until I get tired, and then I'll do the rest.
But I'm gonna see if I can catch up on The Gilded Age. If it's good, like when I started watching Inventing Anna, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Baby, I got into I was like, oh, y'all done got me, Shonda. Damn it. Like, damn it, Shonda, you got me.
Yeah, I heard about Raised by Wolves too, little baby. I listen. I gotta finish this season of Succession first, because them white folks is crazy. Them white
I
folks,
heard Succession was good. Is that the one on
baby.
is it Stars or HBO?
It comes on HBO. Listen,
HBO, okay. I knew it was on one of them Stars or HBO. I hope and before I finish, can I say I just hope Stars just kicks Power off just because of 50 Cent and his fuck shit and fuckery. Like
listen.
I'm so
Don't talk
sick
to
of
me.
him.
Don't talk to me about that show, because I listen. I'm sick of it and its spinoffs. Next
I
thing you
don't
know, the
I'm not
Power
watching any of the
grandmama
spinoffs.
story. Don't nobody care. We don't
I
care.
don't the only one that I'm tempted and that I might watch is if they do one on Lorenz Tate with the Lorenz Tate character because I'm here for Lorenz Tate. I'm here for all
But
parts.
he's on Tariq's version.
I wasn't here for it. The Tariq version was so stupid and so far fetched and so like really I couldn't. I didn't even make it through the second season of the Tariq version. I didn't even make it.
Me either. Listen, they never listen. They
I know I'm not here for
all of
Tommy.
the
I
power spinoffs have the same issue. They do shit that don't even make sense for real life stuff that's happening.
listen.
I still don't know how on the original Power, Tommy went up to that penthouse and shot it the hell up, and the police never showed up. Like, what?
First of all, the fact that Tommy made it out of the original series alive is beyond my level of comprehension. So I want no parts of white boy, you know, on his own spin-off. I didn't like Tommy's character in the original. This shit was far-fetched then. So you want me to sit up here and watch a whole series about no God, no. No ma'am. No ma'am. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Can't do it, won't do it. So I'm just sick of the glorification of certain things that shouldn't be glorified, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway,
Right. Listen, Succession is blatant in its caucasity. But when I say that shit is, listen, that daddy is crazy. That son, all of the children is not. Listen, that show is,
I
listen.
heard Succession was good. I did hear
Oh
that.
my God. When that child went in that bathroom and tore that bathroom up in a rage and then cleaned the whole mess up like nothing happened. Child. It gave me very hand that rocks the cradle. I said, oh, this boy crazy, crazy. Okay, I'm all right.
Child. The
Uh,
caucasity of Anna Soror. And then she just sat there like, girl, what? Like she just believed her delusion. Like when she tried to say, well, my dad, remember she tried to tell the lawyer, well, my dad would do such and such. And he was like, you do realize I'm your lawyer. You do realize I know all of the truth. Like, you really gonna try and tell me that your dad ain't doing a goddamn thing. What are you talking about? Like what?
that's how deep they be in it. They be so deep in their delusion that they believe it's the actual truth. Some of the kids is like that too. Listen, I'm gonna leave the children alone. I'm gonna leave the kids alone. Because some of them be so deep in their delusion that they actually start believing some of the stuff they be saying, and you be looking.
We like, please stop. Just stop.
Please, beloved, just
Just stop. Just stop. Anyway, let me go get some work done. I got some work to do. It. I told you we are
because
completely
now I
remote.
got to cover for my coworker because she's not coming in.
We are completely remote now, so I don't have to go back into the office for any time for the foreseeable future because they said we don't know if we're ever going back. they they said that.
Listen, working from home is the best thing that ever happened to my life. Listen.
Matter of fact, they gave everybody a stipend to build a new home office, even if you already have one. Here's some money so you can rebuild a home office. Buy a new desk. If you want to
I'll
stand up
take
desk,
it.
go ahead.
Thank you.
You want a new chair? Here you go. If you want to stand up desk, here you go. I might get one of those stand up desks because it allows you to do both sitting or standing.
Mhm.
So I might get that. I might look at it. Get it.
No, I like to sit down.
But that's what I'm saying. I like to sit down, but if I needed to make it stand up, I could. You know.
Right. That would be cute. I saw
Mhm.
one that was like a hydraulic thing at IKEA, and you just push the button and it goes. "Oh." I said, "Oh,
But I feel like IKEA is it's gonna make you build it, and IKEA
oh
stuff.
no!" I pay the extra $50 for them
But
to come and
but the
assemble it.
IKEA stuff break like this. Like everything I get from IKEA,
Really? Because
I be
I just got
breathing
a
on it and
plain
it
desk
breaks.
from IKEA for my birthday. My baby daddy bought me a desk like a couple years ago. That thing still, she done took a lick and she keep on taking. Listen,
Maybe I just be having bad luck with IKEA because everything I get from them, it be like, girl.
listen. With the way Power Universe Recycle storyline, we already know what Tate show will get. Oh,
Exactly. Exactly.
Lady V, I blame you. You're the reason why I ordered from Crumble Cookies yesterday. It's your fault. It's your fault that these cookies are sitting over here next to my leg right now. It is your fault. I was minding my black business, trying to save money. And here you go. And then next thing I know, I had bought some cookies. I want to buy
Child,
just a whole box of
Tracy
Snickers.
said my
I
job
feel
just
like,
mailed me a new chair and it was $900. I was like, Jesus, because ooh, I would that chair. I ain't spend no doubt. But those chairs be real expensive. Like you could spend a pretty penny on a desk chair. You really can. Really, really can. So that
yeah,
makes
Tracy
sense.
said that was Jesus because I would just never. Neither would I. Listen, friend, I understand wholeheartedly. You hear me? Mm-mm. That ain't what the Lord want for me. Not in these last
Mm-mm.
evil days. That's
Not
living in
$900 for a chair. Dear God, now if the job want to buy it, go ahead. You got it. Y'all got it. Nah. Mm-mm. Mm. Child. Anyway, um, I keep saying let me get out of here, and they keep giving us stuff to talk about.
Listen, P Valley is coming. Just
It is.
strap in. I need you to check on when David Makes Man is coming back. I need you. Is it coming back for season 3? Do we know yet?
I haven't heard anything yet.
I got one of the blueberry muffins in here right now. I'm going to eat that today. Is it good, Lady V? Because I ate the snickerdoodle. I ate the chocolate chip. I ate the snickerdoodle when it first got here. I ate the chocolate chip last night before I went to bed. Now I have a snickerdoodle and something else that has like a cream on top, like a caramel something on top. Those are the two that are left. So I'm gonna try. See, it has, hold on, let me see if I can show y'all. It has like a caramel something on top of that. It looks real thick. So I'm gonna do the blue
So
today.
everything that I see says that they have not decided on anything with David Makes Man.
Okay. Well, they need to get decided.
Matter of fact, I see something from yesterday, from March 2nd. As of March 2nd, David Makes Man has not been canceled or renewed for a third season. Stay tuned for further updates. Who is this trying to come up on here? Oh, this is the EP of the show.
Of POV.
Yes.
Okay. Hello.
Hello,
How are you?
Hey,
I'm well. How are you guys doing? I'm just getting my day started.
Oh, at
you've
least
been out partying with the people.
I'm fine. I'm about to get a Red Bull out this refrigerator because
You've been in them good streets all night. That's why.
I'm not big. Yeah, yeah. How you doing, Ed Ted? How you doing? As well.
I'm good, sugar. I'm good.
I'm good.
Um, so what made you decide to do this type of show? Because it's giving me a very much like a the view type of situation.
Yeah, that was honestly I wanted. The View is one of my favorite shows, but I wanted to do just a show where I have different. How so? This is how I describe it. I have different labels, stereotypes, and personalities that's in the LGBT community. Where each season I'm gonna switch up the panel. So this year we have a lesbian, we have a trans woman, we have a black gay Republican, we have Richard, which is a progressive. Well, she wasn't on the last episode, but he's very progressive, but he's considered himself a butch queen. And then of course we have Bryson that just you know Bryson.
Or as you all
Yeah.
say, the
And
aggressive
he's an
bottom.
aggressive bottom because that's what sent me.
Thank you, Lady B. Thank you.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about tough conversation. Like we talk about policies and stuff that I know most of them won't agree on, but I feel like that if they can have a conversation, and even if we just don't agree with it, I just still feel like it's a space where people can like really be honest about what they feel about the bills and you know policies and different things like that. Because a lot of time, like you have a lot of people like myself that we don't see everything as it's a direct attack in terms of the LGBTQ IA community. It might just be sometime based upon our upbringing. We might just feel like something should be is probably morally wrong or something should be changed, even though we part of that community. So it's just that that's the whole idea of why I want to do the show and why we have those type of topics all the time.
Okay. Okay. So
And
is it
I
gonna,
just,
yeah,
I just
is it once a week? Is it going to come out like every day? How
every
is your
every other Wednesday it's going to
every
be.
other Wednesday? Okay, let me
Yeah.
mark it
So
down.
we just filmed episode 4 last night, which was very intense. Well, no, 3 was intense. 4 was okay, but yeah, I just got into L Teddy with some of his comments, of course, but that's L Teddy. I think he know his stuff, so I don't expect nothing less.
We spent a good portion of this live talking about some of the things that we heard on there and having to educate the people on things that were said on there that was so wrong, so ill informed, and so just Dante needs to go back and get an education on all things politics because some of the things that he was spewing out his mouth were blatantly wrong.
Was it wrong
But
because your view,
no,
or
no,
was it
no, 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 not
okay,
factual. I should say not
factual?
factual.
Okay, in
And
terms of, I
so
know
I
you
don't have
said.
no problem with you having an opposing viewpoint,
Hmm.
but you need to be based in fact when you are, making your
Yeah,
debate.
yeah.
And it was like, yeah, you need
I
to
seen
make
you said something about something about the Black Lives Matter comment concerning, and then Bryson said he felt like it was disrespectful how they were just trying to dismantle
Well, the
that.
the lady said that it was started by a white man, which is totally untrue, completely untrue, completely, totally. And then Dante said out of his mouth that the reason George Floyd, black people were responsible because the black people who were sitting there watching the police lay on his neck,
Yeah, yeah, that was more responsible. Yeah, that yeah, yeah.
and I was like, what? Like,
Okay.
huh? And then he tried to paint Kamala Harris out to be a bad person about the bill that Senator Tim Scott put out there, when in all actuality, what happened was when the George Floyd bill hit the Senate floor, the Republicans wanted no parts of the George Floyd bill. And they got Senator Tim Scott to put his name behind one of their bills because Senator Tim Scott was black. And they wanted a bill that they could put a black person behind so that he could be the token person. And the reason that Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, the other two black senators, decided that they didn't want to vote for that is because they took out all of the teeth from the George Floyd bill.
Mm.
And they took out all of the things that would have had any repercussions for the police. And so that's why they said, absolutely not, we're not going to vote on that. It wasn't just Kamala Harris, it was also Cory Booker, who was the other black senator, because there were only 3 black senators at that time, and there's still
Yeah.
only 3 black senators now. So yeah, don't tell me about Tim Scott, who's one of the worst people to walk the face of the earth.
Not one of the worst, Lord.
Yeah, Tim Scott is pretty horrible. He's pretty
Well, I'm
horrible.
glad that you have created this forum so that these things can
Here's
be
my
discussed,
here's
and any people who have misconceptions or misinformation, because sure a lot of people think like your panelists and have that same idea, and for the people to be able to come together and be like, okay, well, this is not true, this is actually how this happened, and for other people to get the information, the correct information out, is a valuable tool. So thank you for that,
and my
for just
thing about
creating conversations.
I think the topics are worthwhile. My concern is I feel like the panelists need to be researched and informed when they come to the table. Like when they come to the table, have your homework already done. Know what you're talking about, because what ends up happening is people just speak off of emotion, and you just
Right.
got people ranting and raving, and then you got people with alcohol in their system. And so what happens is you got emotion mixed with alcohol and the lack of real facts to
Hmm.
base your argument off of. And so now it just sounds like we're just screaming, and it, to me, we as a LGBTQIA community, we have so many of us who are so well educated and so informed on these topics and can add worthwhile conversation. I just feel like it's not fair when you have individuals that go up there, and we just got all kinds of, because when that woman came out there talking about all lives matter and all of this, that, and the third, and just started spewing misinformation about Black Lives Matter, and then it just went into a very disrespectful
The
conversation about
territory. Yeah, yeah.
territory, because they pretty much equated Black Lives Matter only to George Floyd, when Black Lives Matter went way before George Floyd. Because Dante said, "Oh, they only talk about Black Lives Matter during an
In the
election
election
season,"
season, yeah.
and I was like, "What? That doesn't like what?" But that's a talking point for white people
Mm.
who want to politicize it. Even the thing about education, it helps if you have someone who works in education, who knows education, specifically in the state of Florida, that can speak to everything that the bill really encompasses, what is or is not happening, and none of that was introduced into that argument. So they just speaking about things of which they know not. And then Dante said, "Oh, it's just a 4-page bill." No, it's actually 7 pages. You can get the PDF. It's 7 pages. And yeah, it was just so many things that I was like, "Oh, you missed that point." Oh, and I don't even have a problem with you having an opposing viewpoint, but have it based in fact.
Or is it safe to say this is, well, if it's not fact, it's just not a lie, basically, even if it's your opinion.
Well, there's a difference between a lie and an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it was just a flat out lie. Saying that Black Lives Matter was started by a white person is just a lie.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That
Yeah.
that's just I'm not going to even let you say that's my opinion. That's the lie. That's a easily, researched fact. You know, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I like the topics. I think there could be worthwhile conversation. It just
Yeah, it
the
has to be more extensive research, and they do get their topics ahead of time. So what we usually do before we go film, we usually go into a meeting. And but I think like you said, more so, I think they do emotions, and you
hmm
continue to get sidetracked on.
hmm
I think a lot of that, like the fact you said that, kind of like resonate with me. Where it's like, okay, I can see what you're saying, because that could be the driving force of why they saying a lot of the stuff they saying.
Right, and I can say a whole lot of things about based on my emotion, but I gotta be based because after a while you just ranting and raving. Where are the facts? Where is the real meat and potatoes of what we're talking about? And because when you're just yelling on emotion, nobody's going to pay attention to that because you just sound like you're ranting and raving. And now we got to get down to the real. Okay, what is real and what is just how you feel?
How you feel?
Because how you feel ain't law. How you feel ain't you know what it is. You know what. Anyway, I still haven't gotten my invite, sir.
Oh,
Oh my god.
He
Yes,
know what invite I'm talking about. He knows
right.
exactly
I
what.
know, but I thought I sent you the other information because I got
Mm-mm.
so I did send you
hmm
the address and stuff, didn't I?
You did send me an address, I
But I
think.
was gonna do the invitations. And I've been working on so much other stuff.
hmm
It really slipped my mind. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
hmm
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm a definitely I think after all of that is over, you still should have the facts. Like, what is the facts before we let these people go? Like, we understand what you're saying. It should be like, okay,
Right,
let's drop
and
the
I
fact.
said that to Ebby. Don't leave a mess and never clean it up, because I think, especially at the end of that Black Lives Matter, it was just a mess, and it was never brought back in and cleaned up and said no, that's not what it was just left just there and we're moving on. And so now we know that there are people in our community that are ill informed, and they may go to a platform like this and say, okay, we have credible people who are talking about this, and they're left with just a mess, and they're left thinking
So
that
with the
that's the
Black
way it
Lives
is.
Matter, what was a lie was more so for you. You felt it was disrespectful just to have that conversation as well,
No,
talking
no, I
about.
don't. I think you can have the conversation, but just the things that they were saying with regard to it just seemed very misinformed, and things like that, just very misinformed. Even with the don't say gay bill, there's a lot of things that could be added to the conversation about specifically Florida law,
Mm.
Florida educational standards, and what is and is not taught, that just was never introduced into the conversation.
Yeah, and I
And
would
so
say too, like you said, they would have the facts right in front of them because I had to stop them last night. I'm like, okay, y'all, if we get off topic. We start there, but the emotions and the yelling would get, and where I have to just move on to the next one. But it's yeah, I totally like see what you're saying. Let's stay on topics till we get all everything out. Then, because like you said, it's not fair to just say that and then we're not cleaning it up or we're not debunking that with facts at least so they can know this is the real.
and the other part about it is, I think that they have a responsibility as a panel. They got to think that it comes with a certain amount of responsibility that people are expecting for us to just be divisive at times, and for us to just be yelling across and not being able to have a certain amount of decorum about it, and not being able to have a real worthwhile conversation. And they're expecting us to just have this fighting and shouting match where really nothing's really being conversed on. Everybody's just waiting for the opportunity to yell out however they feel, never taking into consideration what the other person has said. Because if you really want to get into a real debate, a great debator listens very keenly on what you have said, simply because they need to either be able to utilize what you have said to help what they have said, or they may need to alter what they have already prepared to um to combat what you have said. But if you're just waiting to just talk, mm,
Yeah. Mm.
but you know how we do. You know, we gonna tell it like it is. I didn't do a review, but I saw that there's some things that I said, I need to talk about this, 'cause this is this. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not gonna just let
I'm
this
gonna
get it out.
definitely make those adjustments. I'm gonna, um we're gonna definitely, make sure. And like I said last night, I kind of went there with them too. Like, okay, yeah, y'all get off. Like it was so clear to me last night. Like let Richard get the facts out first, and then your opinion can be your opinion. Whatever you got to say, whatever. But
And tell Dante, the black gay conservative,
mhm.
he's welcome to come over here on my platform where we do the politics of it all the time, and we can have a conversation and have opposing viewpoints.
What day do you do
On
that?
my It's just randomly. I do it
Random.
at least once a week. At least one. It's at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, but it is at least once a week. I don't go a week without doing it, where we discuss
Yeah, I know that,
topics
and I
in
know you
politics.
really, yeah. So that's why I'm not surprised all the comments you had because I know you very well rounded into politics. So I definitely let him know as well. I send him your channel so he can actually, because I tell you, he's part of he's over to the Young Republicans and stuff. So
Hey, mother.
he should have some facts already in place. I feel so. I don't know.
I don't think that he doesn't have facts. I think like some people over on that side, they conveniently leave out facts.
Right, right, right. And because
Conveniently,
I
I'm
think
just gonna leave this part out because it doesn't help my conversation or doesn't help my discourse.
even with the Black Lives, the Black Lives Matter. They don't see that his party just don't see that organization as credible for some reason. So he's would probably never.
But QAnon and the Proud Boys are credible. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yes, I'm
That's
just
what I'm saying. You can't have it both ways. You go have yahoos like QAnon and them over here in painted shaman outfits, overthrowing the capital of this great country that y'all love so much. But Black Lives Matter is not credible. You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
Yeah, I know. Well, episode 3 about to get ready to come out too. And that was like, oh, that was a tough one. That was a tough episode because Misha and Bryson. Well, yes, it was another. It was very tough. It was very tough, to say the least. Because the
So yeah,
trans issue.
okay,
So
okay. Like I said, tell him he can come over here. We can have a whole conversation. I'm sure it'll be quite spirited. We won't yell at each other,
no,
but we'll
he
have
kind of
fun.
Dante will only give you what you get. He get that to Bryson because that's what Bryson. But he know what if he in your environment, he know how to adjust. Unlike some other
Okay.
people. But I definitely send him the information. We're gonna make those adjustments in terms of, at least I think it also from my perspective, what I need to also do, even when they say that when they go into the editing process, I'm giving people like flash ups and really give the facts. Like when she said it was found by a white man, when that topic go off, we actually put the facts up of who it actually was founded by. You see what I'm saying? So it can still,
Hmm.
even about the Tim Scott bill, all of that. So I'm gonna also make those adjustments on my end as well, rather than just leaving it out there with other people. They have to do the research and figure
Yeah.
out like, did a white man?
You can have I'm sure you got enough staff members. You can have a fact checker on staff, posted up on screen. Nah, boo, this is what it actually was. you know.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely put that in my notes. But sometimes I just be wanting to see what the people gonna say when they say that. That's why sometimes I don't fact check it. I'm gonna let the comments look at them and be like, "Oh, okay, that's what we doing." Yeah.
Um, anyway, well, I thank
Yeah.
you for coming up. I
You
sure
welcome,
do.
huh? You welcome. So
I'll be.
2 more days left. 2 more days.
What time? Wait, oh, it is Saturday, huh? Oh, shoot.
Hmm.
Shoot. Okay. What time?
Well, we start preparing by 8. I'm there from like 8 to 5 p.m.
8 in the morning?
Yeah, we got to get the venue right. We got to get the venue set up.
Wait, what time do I need to be there?
You get
Okay,
there
so now
about
I feel like this is a conversation that's not for hit. Thank y'all for coming out. They're gonna discuss this backstage.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss this backstage.
Go and hit the
I will
backstage.
talk to y'all later.